Happy Monday. Okay, I never know how to start these. That's it. Yes, my hair is wet because I just took a shower because I want to be clean for y'all, but at the same time, I didn't really want to do my hair for the 13 people that are going to watch this. So you get me all natural. You're welcome. Oh, I just can't wait to be king. Side note, did you ever realize that that song is about a kid waiting for his dad to die? Good job, Disney. Always killing off the parents. So, today I have a little mini-series for you all about the ways that food lies to you. And not just the food labels. Because this gets me all the gears grinded. Like, I can't stand it, gets me really mad. So, I want to share with you all the things that make me mad about food labels. If you follow me on the gram, which you should, I don't know why I'm talking like this, but it said treat labels or think of labels like a used car salesman because you can't trust anything they say. Get it? And if you are a used car salesman, sorry, but you know I'm telling the truth. Unlike you guys. Oh, God, with the burns lately. All right, so, okay, series 1 about labels lying. First one we're going to talk about is trans fat. And how labels will say 0 grams trans fat, but obviously we know by the theme of this video, that doesn't mean 0 grams trans fat. There is a difference between 0 grams trans fat and trans fat free. Sounds the same. As a normal person, you would think like, oh, both of those products would have no trans fat in it. That's what they want you to think, but they mean two different things. Trans fat free means that there are no trans fats in that product. 0 grams trans fat is a little different story. Companies are allowed to say that a food has 0 grams trans fat if it has up to 0.5 grams of trans fat per serving. It just got really bright. Cool. Better for my video because I'm in my crappy office. That might not seem like a lot of trans fat, but here's why it's dangerous. Companies will manipulate their serving sizes small enough to make sure that it fits within that 0.5 guidelines so they can label it as 0 grams trans fat. That serving size is now a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of what you're normally going to eat. So now you're eating multiple servings of this trans fat when really you thought you were eating 0 of it. These companies aren't stupid either. They hide it pretty well. They know people are starting to look a little bit more into their ingredients labels and what they're actually eating. So they're not going to come out and say what's in it. No, they're going to use like alter egos of bad food so you don't really know that it's actually in there. So for trans fat, look for things like partially hydrogenated oils or shortening. Those are two really big ones. So company will use these in hopes that you don't know that those are just really code words for trans fat. Same thing with like sugar. It'll say like sugar-free, but in the ingredients, we're not even going to get into that. This is another video. We'll go over that later. But there's over 50 different words for sugar. So keep that in mind when you think your stuff is sugar-free. Anyway, so fully hydrogenated oils, those are okay. Those fats are firmer. They don't have any of the artery clogging thingies in them like the trans fat does. So partially hydrogenated oils and shortening, those are the things you're looking for. If it has both fully and partially, then they're idiots and they screwed it up anyway. So now I don't want you to think all fats are bad because we need fats. There's unsaturated fat, saturated fat, and trans fat. Unsaturated fat, those are good. Those are things like lean meats, nuts, avocado, fish, certain oils, seeds, nuts, if I didn't say that already. Those are good for you. Those you need. Your body can't make unsaturated fat on its own, so we have to get it from the food that we eat. Then there's saturated fats. Those are like in the middle type of thing where they're not as bad as trans fats, but they're not as good as unsaturated fats for you. And your body can make enough of it on its own, so we don't have to get it from the food that we eat. But, you know, people like some steak, so there's that. Foods with saturated fat are going to be like your red meats, like the skin on chicken or poultry, butter, different types of oils, processed meat like sausage, burgers, bacon, and a popular oil that people think is like the end-all be-all and like the kale of oils is coconut oil. Coconut oil is like good for your brain, but overall it's really not that great of a choice because of the high content of saturated fat that it actually has. Trans fat is found in a lot of stuff. Main things are going to be like baked goods and fried stuff and processed stuff. So like biscuits, cakes, cookies, fast food, fried food, fries, just like naming F words, cookies, crackers, cakes, all the C words, oh God, donuts, frozen pizza, frosting, margarine, which is why butter is technically better for you, lesser of the two evils than margarine, because butter is saturated fat and margarine is trans fat. They made that back in the day when they thought all saturated fat was giving people heart attacks and all the other things, so they came up with this as a substitute, and then they realized that was worse. Why are trans fats so bad for you? I'm so glad you asked. Higher level of heart disease, higher level of stroke, It lowers good cholesterol, raises bad cholesterol, obesity, diabetes. It ruins the inner linings of your blood vessels. I mean, some of these things sound familiar if you saw my last video about how people that were hospitalized for COVID were for a lot of these reasons. So now that you know the basics about trans fat, here's an example of a label and what you can look for next time you're at the grocery store or in your own house maybe, and wondering if something actually has trans fat when it claims that it doesn't. There you have it, folks. Episode 1 of Why Food Labels Piss Me Off has been completed. How many episodes this will be, I really have no idea, because a lot of things about food labels piss me off. So we will take this journey together. Hopefully you learned some things, and you'll check your ingredients a little bit better next time you go to the store. And you want to get them Oreos, I know, but check that label, bruh. Like, share, subscribe, all of the socially things, and stay tuned for the next episode of Why Food Labels Piss Me Off. So there's unsaturated fat, saturated fat. My accent just came out real good right there. Blooper. Donuts, frozen people. Donuts, frozen pizza, frosting, margarine. Why am I doing this? So now that you know the basics of... Why can't I say the word basics? Basic.